The elephant in the room for me, and I'm loath to follow Dieter because he's so lucid, but I think missing is the element which is between the farmer producer of a primary product and the item that then is sold to the consumer. For me, producing, for example, beef, if I'd sold to a salesman, it was 20% of the final value that the consumer would have to pay. I captured the 80% by using a local abattoir, by selling the stuff myself, and not creating a load of food miles. Now, where does that issue come into this analysis?
So, if I understand your question correctly, it's about the infrastructure that would enable us to shorten the supply chains that have been destroyed since, well, certainly during my farming time.
And put more value into the pockets of farmers, because primary industries, on the whole, don't survive in developed societies.
So it's interesting, we were in Scotland the other day and there was a discussion about small abattoirs, and somebody made the point, I can't remember whether it was Jane or somebody, our abattoirs, small abattoirs, are public good. And actually that relates to some of the other issues that you touched on, Dieter, where there's you said food isn't a public good, but Minette this morning said she used food production as well as food, and so food production systems might deliver a lot of public goods. So two questions there.
Okay, very quickly. So this really is important about what is public goods and what isn't. Okay, so abattoirs, which I'm really interested in this problem. Okay, we think about infrastructure for the economy. We think about the electricity system, the railway system, the water system. Well, every industry has an infrastructure that supports it. Okay, and so when you look at abattoirs, what people do is they look at the cost and benefits of each abattoir and say, no, close that. Right? What they don't do is look at the infrastructure of abattoirs to support the industry as a whole. Now, infrastructure has public goods characteristics. Okay, and I read in the Farmers Weekly the campaign for abattoirs. I read it elsewhere, Pastures for Life, etc., etc. The missing bit is saying the campaign is for a system of these, and aspects of that system are parts of public goods in the way that aspects of the water industry isn't. But food production as a whole, or food production techniques as a whole, are not. There may be a public interest in that, but it's a different issue. So I think you should talk about agricultural infrastructure. Okay, R&D is part of the infrastructure too, and you should make that case strongly, because frankly, if you, as I understand it, if you wipe out all the local abattoirs, you might as well close the beef and the industry too. And remember, in my world, those food miles are paying their carbon price, right? And that's about my border adjustments. And if you don't do that, you just wipe out domestic production, and that is not economically efficient or environmentally a good idea.